Okay, we're going to be reviewing some of the stuff that we learned in the first part of section 9.2. We're going to be looking at equations and figuring out whether the graph of the parabola is going to be opening up or down, if the graph is going to be the same, wider, or more narrow than the original parent function of y equals x squared, and is the shift up or down, left or right, and how much, and then also determining the vertex. Now, the way that we figure out whether our parabola opens up or down is that we look at our leading coefficient. If the leading coefficient is positive, it opens up, and if the leading coefficient is negative, it opens down. So in this first problem here, my leading coefficient is 2, so that means my graph is going to open up. And because that leading coefficient is more than 1, the graph is going to be more narrow. This plus 7 here at the end tells me the graph is going to be shifting up 7. This plus 3 in the parentheses tells me my graph is going to be shifted left 3. The vertex is going to be found by using this number here in the parentheses, and then the number that's added or subtracted outside the parentheses. So the x-coordinate of the vertex is going to be the opposite of this plus 3, which is minus 3, and then the same as that plus 7, so positive 7. Problem 2, my leading coefficient is 2/3. Since I have a positive coefficient, my graph is going to be opening up. And this 2/3 is less than 1, so it's going to be wider. This number here that's added or subtracted outside at the end, that minus 3, tells me my graph is going to be shifted down 3. This minus 5 inside the parentheses tells me that my graph is going to be shifted right 5. And the vertex is going to be the opposite of that minus 5, which is positive 5, and then that number that's added out here, negative 3. Okay, now problem 3 is going to be just a little bit different because it's not exactly in the right form. What I'm going to do is rewrite this so it will be in vertex form. Now my leading coefficient is negative, so that tells me my graph is going to be opening down. Because the absolute value of negative 3 is positive 3, that means that that leading coefficient is more than 1, so my graph is going to be more narrow. Right, now I have to figure out whether the shift is up or down, and I look at this number that's added out here, that plus 1, so my graph is going to be shifted up 1. My next part is to figure out whether the shift is left or right, and I look at this number that's right here, that minus 0, so there's no shift left or right, and the vertex is the point 0, 1. As you get the 0 from that number that's inside the parentheses and the 1 that's added or subtracted. Okay, let me give you a minute to pause the video and finish the rest of the table. Okay, and there are your answers.